Hi, I'm Michael Hyatt from michaelhyatt.com and author of the New York Times bestseller platform, Get Noticed in a Noisy World. Welcome to Easy WordPress Setup 3.0. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to launch a self-hosted WordPress blog in 20 minutes or less. And as a bonus, I'll show you how to write and publish your very first blog post. No, you won't need any technical expertise. I've proven that. In fact, the original screencast I recorded has already helped more than 3,000 people just like you get started with WordPress. I'm going to keep these instructions really simple, and I'm going to walk you through the process one click at a time. In essence, you'll be looking over my shoulder watching me do it on screen. Now, I'm not going to teach you what a self-hosted WordPress blog is. I'm assuming that you already know that, and if you don't, you can follow a link I've included in the notes below this video. It explains the differences between hosted and self-hosted WordPress. Let me just say in a word, the difference is about control. Self-hosted WordPress gives you more control over your blog, and it's what most serious bloggers use, and it's what I use on my site at michaelhyatt.com. So let's get started. I've organized this short tutorial around 7 steps. Step number 1, gather your resources. Now, here's what you're going to need to set up your self-hosted WordPress blog. You'll need a domain name, that is a name for your blog, and this is what people type in the address bar of their internet browser to get to your blog. Mine, for example, is michaelhyatt.com. Yours might be your name or the name of your company. It doesn't have to be registered. In fact, it's better if it's not. You'll also need a credit card, and you'll need to allocate about 20 minutes for this entire process. That's it. In this tutorial, we're going to set up a blog called easywpsetup.com that will eventually be the permanent home of this video and some other resources I plan to add for beginning bloggers. Which leads us to step number 2, set up a hosting account. Now, a hosting account is where your blog will live. This is a server, in other words, a computer, in the cloud, a remote computer, where you will rent space to install the WordPress software and manage your blog. And if this causes your eyes to glaze over or you don't understand it, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just understand that this is where your blog is going to live. Now, there are lots of services available, hundreds, maybe even thousands of hosting services out there, but I recommend one, and the one I recommend is Bluehost. And I recommend Bluehost for 7 specific reasons. Number 1, Bluehost has great 24/7 support via phone, email, or chat. And I've had a few opportunities to test it myself, and I've always found them to be quick, courteous, and knowledgeable. Terrific support. Reason number 2, reliability. Bluehost is super reliable. It has an uptime average of 99.9%. That's honestly as good as it gets. Reason number 3, ease of use. Bluehost is very easy to use, as you'll see. In fact, shockingly so. You'll wonder why you haven't set up a hosting service before now. Reason number 4, WordPress. WordPress only officially recommends 3 hosting services, as you can see here, and Bluehost is number 1. It hosts over 850,000 WordPress blogs. That's a lot. Reason number 5, no limits. Bluehost offers unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, unlimited domains, that is, you can host multiple websites or blogs on one account, and unlimited email accounts. Reason number 6, affordability. Bluehost is inexpensive, about $4.95 to $6.95 a month, depending on which plan you pick, and in a moment, I'll tell you how to get it for just $3.95 a month. And then reason number 7, values. In its terms of service, Bluehost prohibits pornography and other adult content, and it strictly enforces this standard, and it deletes sites that violate it. And I like this because, frankly, it squares with my values. I don't want my blog sitting on the same server as some pornographer. And I don't know if you share this value. I'm not trying to impose mine on yours, but if that's important to you, Bluehost is one of the few hosting services that has this policy and enforces it. In fact, I checked the other 4 most popular hosting services. All of them allow for pornography. Bluehost is the only exception. And in my view, these 7 reasons make Bluehost a no-brainer. So to get to the site, go to michaelhyatt.com, and then type in /Bluehost and hit your enter key. And yes, that's an affiliate link, which means Bluehost pays me a commission if you sign up through me. But the truth is that all of the hosting services do that. I could have chosen any of them. Any of them would have been happy to pay me a commission. But the reason I recommend Bluehost above the others is for the 7 reasons I gave a moment ago. I should also mention that I don't use Bluehost for michaelhyatt.com. And in this point, my site's just too big. My blog is running on 2 dedicated and mirrored servers. And Bluehost runs shared servers rather than dedicated servers. So it doesn't really work for me with my level of traffic, which is hundreds of thousands of unique visitors each month. But my other sites are running on Bluehost, including my wife's site, and I've recommended it to hundreds of bloggers and other family members, and I've only had 1 complaint in 3 years. But keep in mind, Bluehost offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, which you can see right here on their homepage, and it's also written into their terms of service, which defines this as 30 days. So there's really no risk on your part. Okay, so go to the link, michaelhyatt.com/Bluehost. If you're not already there, you should be on the homepage now. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to click on the Sign Up Now button. And at this point, you've got a decision to make. You need to decide whether you need a domain name or you already have a domain name. And we're going to choose the first option. We're going to assume that we haven't previously registered a domain. We're going to let Bluehost do that for us. And if you've previously registered a domain, for example, at GoDaddy.com, which is probably the most popular, you'll want to pick the second option. And I'm not going to go through that on the screencast today, but I will explain it below in the notes. It does require an additional step. So enter your domain name and choose the appropriate extension, com, net, biz, whatever, and click on the next button. In our case, I'm going to enter in easy WP Setup, and it's already configured to add in the .com, and I'm going to click on Next. At this point, Bluehost is checking to make sure that that domain is in fact available. And it says the domain you have requested, easywpsetup.com, is available. So that's good news. At this point, we need to fill in the account information. I'm going to blur this out. I'm using a password management system called 1Password, and I'm going to simply enter in my billing information, and it automatically enters that in. And now what you're going to want to do is scroll down and look at the various options. And you can see here that the prices range from $3.95 a month to $4.95 to $5.95 a month. It all depends on the length of your commitment. Now, if you didn't use my affiliate link to get here, you're not going to see these prices. This special price, $1 per month off the regular price, is only available if you use my affiliate link. Now, if you're unsure, I would select the 12-month price. It's more expensive, but you only have to commit for a year. If you're sure, select the 24 or the 36-month price. It's the least expensive overall. But keep in mind, you're going to have to pay for this in advance. That's how Bluehost is able to offer these super low prices. So 12 months at $5.95 per month is going to be $71.40 per year and $71.40 up front. 24 months at $4.95 per month is going to be $59.40 per year and $118.80 up front. And 36 months at $3.95 per month is going to be $47.40 per year and $142.20 up front. And so I'm going to select that option, the 36-month price, and I'm going to deselect these other optional services that they're offering. The only one you might want to consider is the domain Whois Privacy, especially if your home address and your billing address are the same. But now enter the billing information. And so what you're going to want to do, and I'm going to again blur this out, I'm going to select the credit card that I'm going to use, and then from 1Password, I'm going to fill in this information automatically from my digital wallet, so to speak. Make sure that you've confirmed you've read and agreed to the terms of service, etc., and then click on the big Next button. At this point, Bluehost is processing your credit card information, and the system will take a few minutes to get through this process. You just have to wait patiently. This is all according to plan. And then it's going to say select the upgrades that best suit your needs. Now, I'm going to recommend at this point And what I would personally do is I would just avoid all these. You don't need these right now. If you do need them later on, you can come back and pick them up later. But scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the complete button. And again, be patient. The system will now complete your order. And then it says, congratulations, you've now set up your Bluehost account. So now you're going to create your password and you're going to log on to your account, and you're going to start by creating your password. So click on the Create Your Password link. At this point, you're going to get the password generator, and I would use that. I would not recommend that you enter in some easy to remember password, because that's how people get hacked. Go ahead and use the password generator. And this is going to give you a complex, difficult to remember, and also hard to hack password, and copy this to the clipboard because you're going to need it in a minute. If you're on a Mac, you can press Command-C. That copies it to the clipboard. If you're on a PC, you can use Control-C. And then what you're going to want to do is paste this into those fields, and then click on the Create button. Now, warning, you might see an error message here. We didn't, thankfully, but it's simply because it sometimes takes a few minutes for the Bluehost robots to create your account. But don't panic. Worst case scenario, call Bluehost support at 1-888-401-4678. Now, at this point, you're going to log into your Bluehost account. Now, I had a previous domain inserted in here, so I'm not going to use that. Chrome just conveniently did that for me. And I'm going to enter in ezwpsetup.com. And then I'm going to enter in from the clipboard that password that we pasted to it by pressing Command-V if you're on a Mac, or Control-V if you're on a PC. And then you're going to click on Login. And at this point, you're going to get to what's called the cPanel. Now, 1Password has also offered me the opportunity to save the password, and I'm going to do that. So if you use a password management system, a little tip here, I put bluehost.com, and then in parentheses, I put the name of the site, because I've got a lot of blogs set up through Bluehost, and I want to be able to remember which one this pertains to, and then just click Save. If you're not using 1Password, don't sweat that. At this point, what you're going to want to do is you're logged in, but you're going to want to click on the what's called the cPanel, and that stands for Control Panel. Sometimes you get an error message the first time you do this too, because it's still setting up your site in the background. We didn't here, thankfully, and so here we are. We're in what's called the cPanel. It's the control panel, and at this point, we're going to install WordPress. That's step number 3, install WordPress. Now, don't be scared by this step. It's amazingly simple. I know this can look overwhelming because there's a lot of options here, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. It used to be complicated. You had to be a semi-geek to pull it off, but Bluehost makes it super simple. And trust me, anybody can do this. Now, scroll down to the website builders area right here and click on the WordPress icon. And that's going to load another page. Warning, you might get an error message here, but it should resolve on its own. This will tell you it's loading up your Mojo account. Mojo is simply a system for managing automated scripts. Don't let this confuse or overwhelm you either. This is what you should be seeing. And now you'll see this install script, and you're going to see this start button, and that's all you have to click on, because this is, in fact, a brand new install. So click on the start button. Now you're going to select the domain on which you want to install WordPress, and it should default to the correct one, which is the one we just set up. And now you're going to click on Check Domain, and you're going to see here in a minute a new screen with an error message. And that's because Bluehost is protecting us from overriding something that may be in the directory. And it says here, oops, looks like something already exists there. I understand that continuing will overwrite the files. That's exactly what you should be seeing, because if you'd set up a domain previously and maybe you'd set up a website and you'd been using it for a while and now you want to install WordPress, it doesn't want to install it over what you've already got there. But this is a brand new blog, so don't sweat it. Just select the check box here and then click on these other options. Show advanced options, no. And then click on I have read the terms and conditions, and then click on the Install Now button. Now, at this point, it's going to be giving you a lot of different status messages, and this just takes a while. It's uploading software, it's installing the software, it's configuring it. This is the longest part of the process. If you want to get a cup of coffee, do it, because this is going to take a minute for it to be installed. And when it gets done, it's going to pop you to a fresh page with your site URL, logon URL, username, and password. So we'll just wait patiently while this happens. So there, the install is complete. You can access your new website using the following information. Now, this is really important information. Write it down, every single thing under step 1. Or better yet, take a screenshot. Bluehost is also going to email this information to you, but I like to be safe and keep a backup, so I'm going to write it down, or I'm going to put it in a place that I won't forget it. For now, select the password, just with your cursor and your mouse, select it, and then copy it to the clipboard, because we're going to need it in just a minute. And again, if you're on a Mac, that's Command-C. If you're on a PC, that's Control-C. And now that brings us to step 4, load your new blog. We're going to take it for a spin. So click on the site URL. This is your brand spanking new WordPress blog. It's not very fancy. WordPress uses a very generic theme by default, but that's the beauty of WordPress. There are thousands of themes available, and you can customize this to your heart's content, and I'll talk more about this in a minute. But this brings us to step number 5, which is to log into WordPress. What I want you to do is to go to this right-hand sidebar and scroll down to this little login link. So you can just click on that, and that's going to bring you to the WordPress login page. And at this point, you want to enter your username and password. And your username is most likely the email. You can look back on that page we were just on before, but it's typically the email address that you used when you signed up for your account. And then you're going to use Command V as in Victor or Control V to paste in your password. And then I also like to click this Remember Me button so I don't have to enter this in every time, and this gets saved with Chrome, and then log in. Now, at this point, you are in the WordPress, what's called the back end or the administrative area. The front end is what your readers see, your normal blog site, and the back end is what you see, how you control what appears on the front end. And this brings us to step number 6, which is to write your first blog post. You want to go up here on the left-hand navigation panel, click on Posts, and then Add New. We're going to add a new post. And get used to this screen, because this is where you're going to be writing your blog posts in the future. And again, 1Password is asking me if I want to remember this password, and I'm just going to click on Save so that it saves the password. And I'm going to enter some clever title here for my first blog post, like Welcome to my WordPress blog. And then in this area down here, the text area is where you want to enter your blog post. And in this case, I'm going to make it really simple. I'm using a type expander called Typinator, and I'm not going to let you have to watch me stumble through typing in a blog post. So I'm just going to enter a little shortcut, and bam, there it is. That's my first blog post. Now, when you get this like you like it, you get the blog post like you like it, you're going to click on the Publish button, which is going to publish it to the front end of your blog, the public end of it, where everybody in the world gets to see this, which is really, really cool. So now what you're going to do, just to check this out, is you're going to click on this View Post link, and voila, you have just published your first blog post. Congratulations. And that brings us to step number 7, bookmark your blog. In fact, you want to save 2 bookmarks. First of all, your blog, the WordPress front end. And what you're going to do, I'm in Chrome, so your browser may be a little bit different than this one, but I go up to Bookmarks, bookmark this page, and I'm going to type in the name of my URL or my address for my site. And in my case, I'm going to save it in a folder called Blog, which I previously set up. And I'll show you here in a minute why that makes it really convenient, but it's different on different browsers. I'm going to select Done. And then I'm going to go back to my admin panel or the back end, just clicking the back browser button. And that gets me there. But I'm going to click on the dashboard home because that's the page I want to save in my bookmarks. And then I'm going to go up to bookmarks, bookmark this page. And again, I'm going to type in my case, easywpsetup.com. You type in the name of your blog site. And then I'm going to do a hyphen and then the word admin to just let me know that this is the administration panel so that I can get to it when I want to. And then I'm going to click done. And up here, I've got inside this folder these two bookmarks. So I can go to the front end with a click, or I can go to the back end with a click. It makes it very, very easy to use and to administrate my blog. Well, that's about it. If you followed my instructions, you now have your very own self-hosted WordPress blog. Congratulations. Probably the next thing you want to do is select a theme for your WordPress blog, and you can find thousands of free ones on the internet. Just Google free WordPress themes. Personally, I would recommend spending a little money and buying a premium theme. There's lots of those on the market too, but I recommend the Get Noticed theme for WordPress. This is the theme that I personally designed and built with my friend Andrew Buckman. It has features that no other WordPress theme has, and it's particularly helpful for anyone wanting to build a personal brand: authors, speakers, comedians, musicians, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, entrepreneurs, and so forth. And you can find out more at getnoticedtheme.com. And if you want to learn more about WordPress, I recommend WP101.com. It's basically a WordPress tutorial site with videos on how to do everything and anything in WordPress. And I have links in the post below to my theme and to WP101.com. Just like the Bluehost link, the WP101.com link is an affiliate link. But if I've helped you in this screencast, you can help me by clicking on that link. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. It just helps me continue to provide helpful resources like this. So thanks for watching. For more information about blogging and building your platform, visit my blog at michaelhyatt.com. Thanks.